Alright guys, here we go. Another SmackDown is in the books. I believe this was the penultimate SmackDown before Clash of the Castle, so obviously trying to get something built up for that pay-per-view in Wales, trying to get the matches finalised, and we've got a couple of new matches confirmed after tonight, but I'm not going to spend that long actually talking about tonight's show. Just not really feeling it, man. Fuck, a very, very busy day, and I don't have 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to talk about SmackDown. It wasn't that good of a show, if we're being perfectly honest. So, yeah, we'll kick off with the opening segment. Ronda Rousey comes out. Pierce was here. She basically wants her suspension lifted. Pierce says that that's above his pay grade, that he can't lift a suspension. I wonder what Pierce's actual pay grade is. I mean, he's been labelled the official now for a couple of years, but he doesn't actually... All he does is, like, make random fucking matches, you know? Like, why can't they just go out and call him the general manager? Or if he's not the general manager, then hire somebody who is. Just having Pierce as the official. Just the official what? I mean, technically referees are officials. So what's this guy? Is this guy just like a super referee or something? Doesn't make any sense. But he says it's above his pay grade to lift the suspension, even though I think he was the one that suspended her. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Pierce was the one that suspended her, so it's pretty weird that he says he can't lift the suspension, even though he gave the suspension, but, I mean, who cares? Rousey, then, he sends in 4 security men to get Rousey. Rousey beats up the 4 security dudes. This is very lame, right? I'm taking nothing away from Ronda Rousey here. In her prime, she was a good MMA fighter. A bit too reliant on the armbar, to be honest. A bit one-dimensional, but she was a good fighter. But she would struggle to beat up one fully grown man. Let's be real. Never mind 4 security guys. So segments like these are just so fucking unrealistic. It just wouldn't happen. She would struggle to beat up one of these dudes. Never mind 4. That's not a sexist comment, that's just the 100% truth. Whether you like it or not, you know, that's totally up for you to decide, but it just looked very, very lame that she was, you know, beating up 4 security dudes. Then the police came out, thought she was maybe going to attack the police, but no, she just offered her hands. She then got cuffed, she got escorted to the back, and while she was getting put in the police car, she turned around to Adam Pearce and she says, "Pearce, nice haircut." I mean, yeah, we get it. Pierce is bald, so fucking what? Is she bald shaming Adam Pearce? Is she hair shaming Adam Pearce? Like, we know Pierce is bald. Why is she just came out? This comment was out of nowhere. I don't know if she was trying to be funny or trying to be edgy, but it just sounded stupid to me. I mean, Ronda Rousey could say the best thing ever, but her delivery is fucking awful, so... I mean, what does it matter? I mean, if The Rock could make fun of someone who's bald and he would make it work, Ronda Rousey tries to make fun of Pierce and it's just words, really, at the end of the day. I mean, not a great segment. I think Ronda Rousey's been so disappointing. I wasn't her biggest fan in her first run, but I thought she was a lot better than this. I don't know, maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe just doing it for a paycheck, who knows. Then we get Toxic Attraction debuting on SmackDown. They took on the team of Sonya and Natalya. They replaced the other 2 people from NXT. Don't know why. I don't even know why NXT people are in this. Why is our NXT teams going for these belts that are exclusive to Raw and SmackDown when NXT already have tag team championships for the women? It doesn't make any sense, but it's WWE, not a lot. It's wrestling. Fucking nothing makes sense. We've got Bayley and her crew at ringside. Natalya's boobs just get bigger and fucking bigger. I mean, I swear to God, they grow every week. It's just a shame her personality, her character, you know, her charisma doesn't grow, because if it did, then she'd be pretty good, but it doesn't, so she's pretty shit. She has the sharpshooter on Gigi Dolan, but Gigi Dolan's not the legal person. Jessie Jane is, then she rolls up Natalya and gets the free count. Toxic Attraction advance. I mean, who knows, maybe Toxic Attraction will win this, and they will get called up to the main roster, but I don't see it. We then have Reigns and Sami Zayn backstage in Reigns' office. Zayn says that Jay is ungrateful. He says that he's been taking bullets for Jay and the Usos every week, but all Jay does is, you know, make fun of him and say that he needs to step up his game, and says that it demands more for him to be in the bloodline. And, you know, it was pretty funny here. Sami Zayn was like imitating Jay. Reigns says he agrees that Jay is ungrateful and that Sami should just talk to him or Jimmy. Then Jay phones, or he phones Reigns, and he phones Reigns and Sami Zayn picks it up. He says they're stuck at the border. Then Reigns says what has Sami got what Sami got to do tonight. Sami says he's part of an IC Fatal 5-way match to get the number 1 contender shot at Gunther. And then Reigns says that the IC title would look good in the bloodline. And that was it. I mean, it was an okay segment. It wasn't fucking great, but it was I guess it was cool to see Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns interact. But I mean, it wasn't great. Then it was okay though. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't fantastic. We then got Cross and Scarlett cut a promo. Cross calls Drew the chosen one, but he says the WWE were wrong. WWE were wrong, and he basically just starts screaming that the WWE were wrong to call Drew the chosen one. So there you go. I mean, that was it really. I mean, Scarlett's hot, but that's it. It's not bad what they're doing with these two. I mean, it's okay, but again, it's not really great, is it, if we're being honest. Then we get Hit Row interrupt Maximum Male Models. Dupree says that Hit Row isn't Maximum Male Model material, especially the fat one. And then Hit Row just kind of ambush them, chuck them at the ring, and then they perform some song, or I don't know, their theme song. They just do some like live fucking rap in the ring. Again, it was okay, you know, it was different. I guess it was like sports entertainment, but it wasn't good, if we're being honest. Then we have a segment vignette. The Vikings are in like a field, and the Viking Raiders have a funeral for the New Day. They've got like fucking fire going, and they're like painting their faces and stuff like this, like tribal shit, Viking shit. They say it's going to be the death of the New Day and the dawn of the new Viking Raiders. It's going to be a new Viking Day. I mean, it was okay. I mean, there was some good effects. I mean, they put in effort. Again, I wouldn't say this was great, but it was different. So, you know what, I'm not going to bash them too much. Fair play. Yeah, moving on. I just don't like the Viking Raiders. For me, there's not a lot to say about them. Then we get the IC Fatal 5-way number 1 contender match. It was Corbin, Ricochet, Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, and Sheamus. I mean, they need to change Corbin. He's fucking wrestling in jeans and a t-shirt, and it just looks terrible. Why not just go back to the whole lone wolf gimmick? I mean, the Happy Corbin thing and broke Corbin. It was okay for a run, but that gimmick has only got a certain shelf life, and I think it's expired. So I would just move him back or do something completely different. Who knows? Sami Zayn got injured during this match, but he came back out. Looked like he was going to win. He was getting a head of steam, but he got pulled out the ring by Sheamus or whatever. No, by Corbin. Corbin looked like he was about to beat Ricochet, and then Sheamus hits Corbin with a brogue kick. Sheamus wins. It's going to be Sheamus versus Gunther at Clash of the Castle. Should be a good match. We'll see. Speaking of good matches, this next one certainly wasn't that. It was Liv Morgan versus Shotzi Blackheart. Liv Morgan wins. Basic match. Then after it, Baszler comes out, attacks Liv Morgan. It looks like she's about to break her arm. Says she could do it right now, but she wants to wait till Clash of the Castle, and then she just like kicks Morgan in the face. You know, not a lot to say here. Pretty garbage. Then we go to the main event. It's a promo with Drew and Reigns. Drew says Reigns is never here anymore. He says there's a lot of things he wants to say to Reigns, but Reigns is never here anymore. And now that he is, he's got the chance to say it. He says Reigns doesn't deserve to be the champion. Like, Reigns is kind of Reigns is annoyed by this, and he tries to like fire back at Drew, but he seems to like stumble on stuff, and then Drew just takes over and cuts him off. Drew says that Reigns is just a man without his Paul Heyman, who does his political stuff, and the Usos, who is his like physical help. He says that Reigns without them is weak, that Reigns needs the bloodline. Says that Reigns is just a man and that he will beat him. Then they start brawling. Drew's about to hit a claymore on Reigns, but Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere, gets involved, puts himself between Drew and Reigns, takes a claymore to the face. Then Reigns has a Superman punch on Drew. Reigns is setting up Drew for the spear, runs at Drew, but then Drew hits him with a claymore out of nowhere. Drew celebrates. Reigns and Sami Zayn are doing, and yeah, that was it. That's how it ended there. So I mean, it wasn't great. It was alright, but I mean, it certainly wasn't great there. It just kind of ended with Drew celebrating and the other two laying there, you know, flat out. So, aye, SmackDown there before Clash of the Castle. Wasn't a great show. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I mean, it was a bit different. They tried some other stuff, but overall, I mean, it wasn't great, guys. There you go, 3 out of 10. It was better than Rampage, let's put it that way. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, though. Peace.